Hello everybody, this is Kirby DK10 coming at you with another video. So in today's video I just wanted to kind of give my brief impressions of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 2023. So on your screen you should be watching, I think, Karachi gameplay. This one I didn't do too hot in. I mean, my team as a whole didn't do too hot in. It's kind of, I gotta be honest, it's a little bit of a more boring gameplay. I got a few interesting moments in there, but the game was a complete blowout. And I don't know why this happens in this game, but it just does. Complete blowouts happen. I've had them happen to me, and I've had them happen to the other enemy team. It's weird. Sometimes I think the skill-based matchmaking maybe just glitches out and it's not working, or it's just the fact that so many people are reverse boosting, that some people are reverse boosting into my lobbies and they're higher skill than me, or people at my skill are probably boosting into even lower skill lobbies. It's very odd. I don't know if it's just there's a lot of people reverse boosting, or if the game is just messing up in terms of its matchmaking. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just messing up. We've had a lot of glitches over the past few years with the Call of Duty franchise in general, so I wouldn't be surprised at all. But in terms of the overall gameplay, I want to say this game is very fun. It's actually a lot more fast-paced than I thought it would be. There's a lot more weapon variety as a result, I think, of just the game being a little more, I want to say it's a little more casual than last year's game. I've ran into a lot of people who I think don't really take the game very seriously. Maybe it's just because that's how I play nowadays. I don't play very competitively anymore, so maybe that's what it could be. I want to say one other thing is that the graphics, actually, I think in this year's game are actually really good. I run the game generally on medium to high-ish settings. Nothing too crazy, but I think the game looks really nice this year. Even on, I think I've run the game on low a couple times, and it still looks really impressive. Another one thing I want to say is I really enjoy the whole vest system, the whole gear system in general. It makes me think and pick different perks based on either the camo challenge I'm going for, or just the situation that I'm gonna put myself in. So if I want to run faster, I put on that infantry vest, or I also have the option of not running the infantry vest but actually putting on the boots instead, and maybe running with the assassin vest because I want to stay off the radar. There's a bunch of different sort of ways to go with building your class, so you just don't have that one meta class, I would say. I mean, there definitely is some balancing that needs to be done. I think the MCW is what it's called. That gun can probably get nerfed. I think the assassin vest actually needs to work like the TV camo does, which is basically another version of Ghost. So they have two versions of Ghost. They have the assassin vest, which works like the old Ghost, and then TV camo works like the Treyarch version of Ghost, where you have to move around. They should have just stick with the TV camo. I don't know why they added the assassin vest in Season 1. That was a little dumb of them to do. But overall, the game is a lot more fast-paced than last year's game. I definitely don't think it's the fastest we've had still. I still think a game like Black Ops 2 had a little better gameplay and it was a little faster. The maps, man, the maps are hit or miss in this game. You have, Rust, Terminal, all those great maps. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. And then you have maps like Karachi in there, and you have Wasteland, and you have Estate. Yeah. Oh god. Favela plays okay in this game, but overall, and of course you have Derail in there. Good mix. It's a good mix of maps, I would say. A little bigger on the big side of things, which I'm not a big fan of. I've played a lot of 12v12, and I gotta say 12v12 plays good, and I imagine 10v10 probably plays pretty good. So kind of ground war, bigger, more players. definitely helps these maps. It's a lot. I think they should have brought back the combat pacing from Vanguard. I actually thought that was a good idea. I think if they did do that, they probably wouldn't call it the same thing, but I think they might add 12v12 as a permanent game mode. I could see that. I could see that happening. Another thing I'd like to talk about is the Modern Warfare 2 guns. They seem to not be as good as the Modern Warfare 3 guns. They Exclusive Ace did a video on this where he tested all the different like MW2 guns and then did like basically math equations, summed up all of the ADS values, damage values, all that, and it showed that in general, on average, the Modern Warfare 3 guns are better than the Modern Warfare 2 guns. And that makes sense because you know, they want you to play with these new guns. They don't want you to go back and play with last year's guns basically and level those up. They want you to experience the new guns, which I understand, but I think it would have been nice if they actually balanced more of the Modern Warfare 2 guns for this game. They didn't seem to do any sort of balance sweep or big patch. It might come like season. I would imagine it would probably be like season 3 or maybe like mid season 2. It might come with a big patch that sort of buffs the MW2 guns, but in general, I think the Modern Warfare 3 guns are just better, so you should probably just use those. Which does suck because all that progress and all the things that you did on those Modern Warfare 2 guns now just kind of, it carries over technically, but the guns are so bad that why would you use it, you know? There's just better things. And another thing that sucks that they carried over is actually the UI. The UI is just as bad as it was last year, and I was hoping they would kind of improve on that, but it looks like Infinity Ward screwed them over and they just wanted them to use that UI that they made, which sucks because it is such a bad UI system. Actually, I have a funny story. I was trying to find the weeklies to do because I just wanted some challenges to do, some quick things. And so I was like, okay, how do I get to the weeklies? I literally couldn't find it. I had to look up a guide on how to do that. I've never had to look up a guide on how to use a UI before. Usually they're pretty self-explanatory. This one is... It's hard to understand, especially if you come from older Call of Duty games or even other video games, you know what I mean? I doubt even if you're like just a regular casual fan, I don't think this UI really does anything for you. It's just not good, you know? And it's the same, probably it's the same fucking Hulu guy, you know? They didn't fire his ass from last year, so... other than that, though, I mean, the gameplay and everything else is pretty good. I haven't touched too much zombies. I still got to play a lot of zombies. I want to try to go for that zombies camo, but I'm not sure when that'll be. I'm still doing the multiplayer one. It's actually, this year, I mean, I've seen it's actually not that time consuming to do the multiplayer one. The hardest part basically about the multiplayer grind is just getting the weapons up to the levels that you need them to be. Once you're up to those levels, you know, you're good to go. The camos are pretty simplistic. They're pretty easy. I think the multiplayer maps, so far they've added, I think they've added 3. Shipment, of course, classic. It's good. They've added Greece, which is a new map, which I don't personally like. It'll give some variety in there, but it's not a good map, I don't think. And then lastly, they added Meat, Meat is actually a really small map. It's comparable to like Rust, I would say, and maybe like Shipment. I think it's bigger than Shipment, but it's smaller than Rust, so it's a good grind map. And then they were talking about adding 4 of the maps from last year's game, which I think is actually a pretty good amount. I think I would have preferred a little more, maybe if they added a couple of the DLC maps from last year's game, because I know I wouldn't want to see Cena Border Crossing, that's for sure, but I would have liked to seen some more variety come out throughout the seasons with this game, but it's perfectly fine if they don't have the time to come up with, or to, I guess, port the maps over. But yeah, if you're on the fence about this game, I would definitely just wait for a sale. The game is on sale, I think, right now for about 30% off. But if you want a bigger sale, I totally understand waiting. I would say actually probably to wait, unless you know you're a big Call of Duty fan, like you're gonna grind this game and you know you're gonna get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Then go out and buy it. But if you are like a casual COD fan, I would just say stick to whatever game you're playing right now. Play that game for now. Wait for another big sale. I think that's going to be it for the video. I think I've covered everything I wanted to. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day. Peace.